Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Black therapist ends up getting fired for criticizing black men for not going to therapy. But how did this all happen and end up with this woman getting fired from her job? So this all started with one guy by the name of Greg Meadows. Now, you probably don't know who that is, and honestly, most people don't, but you probably are familiar with an article of his that was going viral just about a week ago titled "The Rise of Lonely Single Men," with the description that read, "Men need to address their deficits to meet healthier relationship expectations." In this article, Greg Meadows spoke about a study that spoke about the rise of men being lonely, and he attributed it to women raising their standards, expecting more from men. And so, of course, feminists all over were thrilled and excited that men were alone and suffering because they're raising their standards, right? That was the message. But before we get any further, here's something to keep in mind about Greg Meadows, which I mentioned in a previous video when I was addressing this article. Greg Meadows is a psychologist and author working on his second book, How to Not Suck the Air Out of the Room, A Man's Guide to Fighting the Patriarchy. Yes, guys, we're dealing with a male feminist. And as this article and study of the rise of lonely men began to spread, a TikToker by the name of Unusually Bree was inspired and decided to double down on it by criticizing black men for not going to therapy. And this is how everything played out. Check it out.
I want to get something off my chest about the black man that thoroughly frustrates me. Can I do it? I'm gonna do it anyway. You know, my favorite flavor of ice cream is hardworking black man, but I can't seem to find that flavor in the store no more. And I'm trying to figure out why. In my experience, specifically when it comes to dating, black men just off top want us to submit, but provide nothing to submit to. Nowadays, y'all don't even have the education or credentials to be talking to. Say you need to expand your emotional vocabulary. It's so your life can be easier. Don't you want to be able to communicate with your I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Not tolerating that. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with schmeat and can make their own self come and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a is telling you I need you to communicate more, open your mouth. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men, black men specifically. And what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary because a lot of y'all mother don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016. Anyway, if y'all are not in therapy, expanding your emotional vocabulary, your life just off top is going to be more difficult. When bitches are telling y'all to go to therapy, it's not for us, it's for y'all sad mother. They're not tolerating emotional abuse, emotional neglect. Step it up. Go talk to somebody. Go expand your emotional vocabulary so your life can be better.
Several days later.
Society is already very difficult for black people in general. And for people to call into question saying that I hate black men is asinine to me. Well, hello. It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result. Story time? I think yes. Shit you not, I posted a video on Monday telling men that their dusty behavior is only harming them and that they would benefit from emotional intelligence, and I shit you not, by Friday, didn't have employment. All of this started with a Psychology Today article stating that men are lonelier than ever because they have no emotional skills. And I agreed and doubled down and told y'all that y'all lives would radically improve if you expanded the shit that came out your mouth. But instead of healing, y'all will do anything but that. I am pleading that y'all seek help because women are hurting. We want you to be better. Instead of being accountable like, hey, this see me, I've stirred a little bit Y'all got so hurt that you contacted massa. That's exactly what happened. So first the post goes viral on Twitter, cause y'all need help. And y'all wanted to argue with blue till they blue in the face. Some of you is not gonna be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's gone viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool, we starting a discussion on mental health, and people are, you might not like my delivery, but mother is starting to talk, you know, shaking the tables, I don't give a. But then it turns into this entire crusade of attacking a black woman who serves the black community. There were comments like, I'm gonna find her credentials and report her, cause I told y'all to be better? Yeah, y'all are weird. Y'all scream that y'all want to protect women, protect black women specifically, but have done nothing to protect this black woman who has been serving the communities. I have been violated in several areas, and I'm gonna outline each one. This article was written by a black woman, putting my full government and my place of employment. So being doxxed by a black woman can't fake, hurts, and she never once reached out to me or contacted me so I could spend my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my job and got me fired. I need y'all to heal. I don't need it. Society needs it.
All right, so now that you guys have seen the chain of events that led to this situation where this lady's at now, jobless, right, for going on TikTok and saying what she said, what do you think? Do you think that what happened to her as far as her losing her job is justified? I'll tell you what some other people thought. This tweet came from a user right before she actually got her job taken away from her. It read, as a black man in therapy, I would really appreciate it if therapists stop making content about how much they hate dealing with black male clients. And it's true. When you listen to her tone and how she first off starts by talking about the black male clients who she's working with, you know, that has to be some type of violation. And then addresses them in a tone where she's just kind of frustrated with them and they're not living up to an expectation and standard that she set. That doesn't sound like a direction a therapist would take a conversation or would really display themselves on a social media platform. But that's not all, man. The people had a lot to say. And as always, we're going to check out these comments. This first post is just a meme someone posted. It says, her career, how could black men do this to me? Hilarious. This next post comes from a woman who said, I would never throw a woman under the bus, AKA, I would never drink coffee.
Put that coffee down.
And I'm loyal to the sisterhood. That's what that meant right there. She goes on to say, but she's clearly not taking responsibility. People can't call your job or find your job if you just kept your mouth shut. As a therapist, all she can do is her job. No need to get on the internet to shame people into going to therapy. That's true, right? But isn't it funny how this woman had to first give a disclaimer of like, hey guys, usually I don't do this. Usually I don't do this. Usually I'm delusional, but this kind of looks like it's her fault. Next comment says, I just don't understand why she got fired, ? If it were my practice, I would want her along with her clout. What are you talking about? This is a problem with a lot of people today is that everybody wants to be some type of an influencer. I get it. You can be whatever you want, but we can't all pretend that there's certain professions that just don't need to be advertising their work, exposing themselves on TikTok, right? This is the issue with a lot of women. Men do it too, yes, but women do it a lot more. The cops who get on there, the female cops who get on TikTok and they want to dance and then they get fired by their department. After multiple warnings, a bunch of videos about this. Then a therapist who's disclosing private information about the clients that she works with. Next comment says, she literally says the article that got her fired was written by a black woman. Do y'all listen to understand or just blame black men for everything? Which is followed by this comment from a woman that read, it's funny how these men in the comments are talking about the article was written by a black woman, but not realizing the article was written because of black men. If black men didn't roar up in masses, the article wouldn't have been written. Next comment says, y'all never work on yourselves, yet you're focusing on black men. Women telling men what to do and emotions is the best way. Good she got fired because y'all just want men to be feminine. I believe that's supposed to say. Emotions are for women. We didn't build the world because of emotion. Risks and logic did it. Next comment says, but what did the dusty men do? We dusty men didn't write the article. A black woman wrote the article that you so kindly mentioned several times in your own video. How do you want us dusty men to protect you while you're bashing us in the same breath? Please pick a side. This commenter says, and we'll do it again. Cry. Next comment says she got herself fired. Next, this commenter said should have stayed out of niggas' business, followed by a woman who says you are proving her point. And finally, our last comment here reads, and you've proven why many of y'all are the worst allies. Nobody asked for coddling. This is what y'all aren't sharp enough to catch. We're wondering what this unorganized broad is doing, breaking the code of ethics, insulting a clientele. Yeah, this is what happens when you allow misinformation to cloud your judgment and you act emotionally. Probably the most ironic thing about this whole situation is, number one, this woman's a therapist, right? And you watch her kind of dealing with this very tragic, obviously tragic situation for her. She looks like she needs the therapy. Shit, even before her other videos of her talking, she comes across like she needs to be in therapy herself, not counseling anyone else, right? And what's wild is that we have a woman here who's saying black men need to be more emotionally intelligent. They need to diverse their vocabulary so they can express themselves. Men do better. Black men do better. And yet this woman couldn't use her own discernment and her own education, understanding of emotional intelligence, expression in the right way to save her job. Listen, as always, curious to know what you guys thought of this whole situation. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you guys for checking out another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.